Hello there, YouTube. So I'm going through Lewis and Clark State Park. I think there's some of them that have that same name, but it's the one that's got it. Am I on Alaska? I'm not sure technically what city I'm in right now. But anyway, because of what I just had to avoid sitting at a traffic light, this is something I see people do in vlogs that just amazes me. Maybe because they've never had this happen to them. And you guys in California and other places in the world that can split lanes and get up front, this is probably something that's never in your mind. But you can be the first vehicle at a stop sign. I know that for sure. But something I see people do that is, and once again, I can add that to the list of many times this has saved me. Two things. One, keep your eyes, if you're the first vehicle in a line, make sure you pay attention to your mirrors enough that you see when somebody's coming up on you, and as they are, pay attention to what they're doing. I just had some yahoo in a little Honda Civic. I'm sitting there on Highway 12 waiting to go across Highway 12, and apparently this guy didn't see me sitting there, but I seen him coming, and I seen he wasn't slowing down, and I can guarantee you that if I didn't jump forward, he would have got me. Now, I made a mistake here, and I was in second gear, and in my haste I actually stalled it, but it leaped me forward enough that I got out of his way. And I look back at the guy like, what the hell? And he's doing the, you know, a whole bunch of I'm sorry gestures, you know. Again, it was a young kid. But what two is keep your freaking motorcycle in gear with the clutch in and be ready to get the hell out of the way. Of course, don't be an idiot like me and stop and not be in first gear. I mean, usually this thing will take off in second gear, no problem, but you know, in my haste, I stalled it. But God, it's been a long time since I stalled a motorcycle. I had that VN 1500 Nomad die on me, and I'm thinking, you know, everybody watching this video is going to think I stalled it. I didn't stall it, it just died. But anyway, two things. If you're up front, pay attention to what's coming up behind you. And two, do not put your freaking motorcycle. Look at all them parachuters coming down. There's 3 of them. One just went behind the trees. There's still 2 up. I don't know if you can see that little speck in the sky, and through the trees now, that little speck in the sky. But anyway, I see so many people in their videos pull up, click their bike in neutral, and sit back. Man, you are a target. You are a target waiting to be hit. But that has saved me. I don't know how many times I've had to dive around the car. Bam! They hit the car that I was just seconds before sitting behind. Hey, that nice weather from the south is moving this way. Do you see the parachuters now? The little specks in the sky? One there, one there. The Toledo airport's right there. They're going to be landing. Yeah, unless you got a stack of cars behind you and you're stuck in traffic, don't kick that thing into neutral. You know, if you get enough cars behind you, they'll by the time some yahoo hits a car, and that car hits a car in front of him, it'll stop within a couple of cars usually. All kinds of motorcycles out here. KTM Adventure, and what do we got here? A Yamaha Super Tyranny. You gotta see him. The other guy's down, I think. But that's the parachuting thing where you go in. You jump on a plane and you take a rip up into the skies. We'll turn in here right quick and see what we see. Man, that sun tucked in quite nicely behind them clouds, and it cooled right the heck off. Oh boy, he's on a slow roll down. He must have a good updraft. Look how slow he's dropping out of the sky, if you can see that. It's not even so much as a hint of Mount Rainier back there. That old gal is behind the clouds. See St. Helens there, that's that bright white thing back there. You can see all the way to the top. The top is basically touching the clouds. A lot of snow and them foothills back there, that's good to see. We're going to need that come wintertime. As little as that is, any amount will help. But yeah, St. Helens is all nice and white again. I was mentioning on one of my vlogs how much snow she lost, but with the recent rains, it's cooled off enough that, you know, that's high enough that it's well in the snow zone, the freezing zone. Can you guys see her there at all? If you do, it's just a speck from where you're at. She looks quite majestic through my eyes. I was actually going to take my little Sony Handycam with me today. I dug around, found what bag I had it in, and pulled her out, flipped the lid open to see how much oh no, there's rain up there. Oh man, that's rain. No way. Don't get me this close to home. I just got to make a big loop. I'm just straight across that valley right there, and the Cowlitz River, of course. Oh no! Don't let me get this close to home and then wet me down. But anyway, God, I'm trying to think last time I used that thing. I guess it's been a lot longer than I thought. The battery was sacked out on it. I've actually got spare batteries for other Sony products that actually work in that camera. I need to investigate that. It's a Sony M battery, I think. M is in Michael. But yeah, I even dug out my lanyard and all that stuff. I was just gonna let her dangle around my neck. If I came across anything, bring out the old Sony Handycam. She's got a pretty good zoom on her. But until it's getting cooler, my shield's fogging easier. Hey, I talked about that house that was sitting over there. It looked like they're about to take it down. It is gone. That house is gone. There was an old Charger that sat in the corner of this lot for years and had a for sale sign on it. And I used to see that old boy out there. I mean, it's set right there at the corner of that lot. That old guy was always out there maintaining his lawn. I mean, he kept that place tip top. All of a sudden, started noticing I mean, it looked like a golf course out there. Just perfect. There wasn't a weed to be found out there. All of a sudden, the grass started getting longer. And now it just looks like an old field. I don't know if the old boy passed on or, you know, he got old enough that he couldn't take care of himself. Whatever the case may be, you know, about the time we started noticing that lawn getting kind of nasty and nobody's maintaining it anymore, then all of a sudden there was just this square dirt patch where that car had sat so long there was just dirt underneath it. All of a sudden the car's gone, And then here, I don't know if I used any of that vlog. I come up to that same stop sign and mentioned that it looked like they were taking siding and stuff off, like they were about to mow that house down. And sure as hell, she's gone. No matter how much you want it to, things don't stay the same. Time goes by, and no matter how much you value things, property, people, whatever, they all and it all ends up going away or changing. That's why you always, I mean, it doesn't matter what generation you're from, you know, everybody says, you know, they wish you could go back to the old times, the way things were simpler. I mean, when I was a kid, you know, even my parents and my grandparents would say the same thing. I'm leaving the rain, by the way. I'm about to loop around and get out of it. But yeah, you hear it with every generation. No matter what your age, you look back with fondness at a time that you feel was simpler or better, or whatever the case may be. And I do the same thing. But I got this crazy knack of remembering stuff even when I was a wee little kid. I don't know why. I can forget your name literally 30 seconds after you tell it to me, because, well, I don't use any tools to help me remember. Well, there's certain people when I know I need to remember their name. You know, you use them little things, association things and stuff, it just sticks. But anyway, you know, certain things, well, we're all that way. There's certain things we remember, certain things we don't. I remember numbers like crazy. I can remember the last 6 digits because everything goes by last 6 of a VIN. Well, now our computer system changed the last 8, but the first 2 of that 8 is like one of them's a year, but it starts with a year, and then the next one's kind of a, well, I forget the technical term for it, but anyway, the 10th digit, or if you go 8 back. But anyway, we do things by the last 8. The craziest thing I just remember VINs. I remember people's, you know, the last 8 of their VIN. I remember part numbers from the early 80s when I was working in parts at the first motorcycle shop I worked for. That was a good looking Harley. Jeez, that thing's huge. Holy moly. Thing looked like a monster coming at me, didn't it? Well, anyway, I left the house here about 2.5 hours ago. I've been gone long enough. I had to put a second battery in the GoPro. And when I booted this thing up, I was looked like it was about 2/3 maybe. So maybe it lasts longer than a couple of batteries. I don't know how long I've got on this one, but I've been pretty much recording the whole time I've been gone, other than about 15 minutes in Walmart's. But I'm just gonna mosey on up the hill here a ways and hit the old hacienda. So I don't know how many vlogs I'll get out of today's just a little goof off on the iron. But oh crap. I just drove past the gas station and didn't top off. Oh, and it's supposed to rain for like the next 10 days. Yeah, I'll go fill my race can up. Top this thing off. We'll probably get a break, a nice spot after work or something. I'll rip down. I cannot stand to leave a tank less than full. One, it exposes it to the tank, it exposes to open air, and a smaller open tank will attract moisture quicker. I just about rolled myself forward right off the damn motorcycle. I let the throttle slip out of my hand. It backed off of me unexpectedly. All of a sudden you see the camera and you're staring at the dash and hear this floundering around. It's me trying to get back on the motorcycle. Ooh, I got the first MotoGP race of the year. The guitar race was today. It played at 11 a.m. our time here. Hot damn, I got a first MotoGP to watch. But anyway, I'm not going to bore you with this long straightaway. I will say my goodbyes now. And like I say, I don't know how many vlogs will come out of this, but this will be the last of whatever comes out of it. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope it's sunshiny, and you guys that are still getting snow, I hope that clears up quick. I know that's miserable to just stare at your bike in the shop. Anyway, hopefully you get out soon. I'll talk to you guys later. Appreciate you watching and commenting and hanging around. So thanks a lot now.